Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a spiritual guidance message for the collective. I'm going to be pulling from this deck here just to see what are the most important messages that your guides have for you at this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message from your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual team, and your higher power. Okay, so the first message that we have here is you are being studied. Collective, I'm picking up on this energy of a lot of people around you finding you a little strange, okay? There's something about you that makes you different from everyone around you. So there's a lot of eyes on you at this time, but people are not watching you out of admiration. They're watching you out of curiosity. I'm also getting this energy of people comparing notes, okay? There is something very, very different about the way you carry yourself or about your frequency that has the attention of a lot of people. And what's so interesting about this energy is it's almost coming through like they have new information. So there could be something that you're doing in your life right now. There could be a certain path that you're taking. There's a very specific way that you're showing up in your life that people find to be strange. And these are people that know you, okay? I feel like there's some history here. They have some type of background information to compare notes. Almost like they're looking at a past version of you, and then they're looking at this version of you right now, and it's just not making sense. You're coming across as very, very strange, very peculiar, very, very different in a way. And it's really causing the people who are close to you to lean in a little bit more, okay? So if you're someone who is really, really sensitive to your environment, to energy, you can feel when people are kind of probing, then maybe you are picking up on this energy, but your guides want you to know that you are being studied, okay? There are a lot of people who are curious about you, specifically how you live your life, how you are showing up in your life. It's almost like people want to get into your mind to understand why you're showing up the way that you're showing up in your life at this time. And what's so interesting about this energy is that it's not just one person, okay? It's not just one person who may feel this way about you. There are multiple energies coming through in your field right now, almost like they're comparing notes, okay? So maybe people are discussing these very, very specific things behind your back, trying to see what everyone is picking up on. But collectively, everyone has come into agreement that there is something very different about you or something very, very strange about the way that you're showing up at this time, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is the contract expired. And I'm hearing the words, your job is complete, okay? So this may explain why everyone has their eye on you at this time, collective. I'm getting very, very clearly that you have completely stepped away from a role that you were playing. In order for these groups or in order for these dynamics to successfully run, you had to play a specific role. And this is pointing to the role that you played in your family, the role that you played in your friend dynamics, maybe even in a workplace, okay? The contract has expired. So what's very interesting about this energy is the way that you're showing up now may very well be your true self, because there's such a lightness that's coming through with this energy. It's almost like the weight that you were carrying, the weight of the responsibilities or a certain role that you were carrying is now over, okay? And this energy is very, very spiritual. When we talk about contracts, this is speaking to something that you agreed to before you came to this realm. So maybe you agreed to show up in your life or in these specific dynamics in a very, very specific way, but now that's over for you. And it's almost like these people cannot understand the switch. It's almost like the rug has been pulled beneath their feet. So maybe one day you had a specific personality, you were showing up in a specific way, you were very open, maybe very available to certain people. And then it's like they woke up the next day and it completely switched. Okay? So this is very, very deep. I feel like something that you agreed to is over. Whatever you signed up for or whatever you agreed to do within this soul contract, you have successfully completed this. And I keep getting this energy of a weight being lifted off of your shoulders. So whatever it is that you agreed to in this lifetime collective, it was very, very heavy. So you may find yourself in a really bittersweet place on your journey because for some of you, maybe you over-identified with this role that you were playing. But I'm getting the energy very, very clearly. That is complete, okay? The contract has expired. And because of that, you're being studied. It's almost like people want to know what you're going to do next. They're studying you out of curiosity, okay? They don't know what to expect from you. You are a complete mystery at this time to the people who are closest to you, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is time revealed the truth about you. And what's sticking out the most to me with this energy or with this card here is the word time. Okay, and it's making me think of Saturn. So maybe you are someone that has very heavy Saturn placements. You could be going through your Saturn return at this time. There's something really, really significant about the energy of time itself, okay? I'm also getting for a lot of you, you could be very, very youthful, okay? If you're resonating with this message, you may be someone who looks freakishly young, okay? So much more younger than your age. You may notice that ever since this contract has expired, people may be complimenting your looks a lot. Maybe people mistake you for being way younger than you are. And you may think that this is normal, collective. You may think that there's nothing to it, but this is actually spiritual. It's almost like whatever it was that you were carrying was weighing you down physically, okay? Almost like you were wearing that energy. And people around you are completely stunned because you're showing up in a very, very different way. Yeah, whoever you are, time has vindicated you perfectly in such a beautiful way, almost in a way that you weren't able to express yourself in the past. And this is the main reason why people are so curious about you at this time and why they're choosing to study you, because at this time you are the standout energy, okay? I feel like you look very, very different than your life story. Like if you were to sit back and read your story aloud, people would be shocked at all of the heaviness that you had to carry. You're not supposed to be presenting physically how you present. Maybe people thought that your spirit was going to be worn down. Maybe they thought that you were going to be the person who changed your personality. But there's something very, very light and beautiful coming across in your energy. And it's catching so many people off guard that they are literally studying you, okay? So I don't know what the relationship dynamic is with these people around you, but they cannot take their eyes off of you. They find it very, very strange that you're presenting the way that you present after what it is that you had to carry, okay? And it's almost like they can see you clearly because this contract has expired. There's like a glow, you know, there's something about your auric field or your energy that's just translating very, very beautifully at this time, okay? And also, if you do have a lot of prominent Saturn placements, I know that Saturn gets a bad rep, but when it comes to, you know, your physical appearance, when it comes to the way that you appear in life, with those heavy Saturn placements, you may get a lot of your lessons very, very early on in life. Saturn is a planet of structure, discipline. You cannot cut corners in any way. So it's almost like whatever it is that you had to carry, people are completely shocked that you got through those lessons the way that you did. But there's something here about this energy of Saturn that I just keep getting, okay? You were being sharpened. And it's almost like you've been presented to the very same people that you were being sharpened around. And it is completely blowing their mind. Because you didn't even have to say anything or prove anything to anyone about your worth or about what you were going through on your own personal journey. Time has revealed the truth about you. Time has vindicated you. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have here is energy vampires. And to be completely honest, I do not like this energy at all, okay? I feel like this is going to go into why you're being watched, not with admiration, but with curiosity, okay? Why these people are comparing notes when it comes to you. I feel like whether this is family, friendships, colleagues, or lovers, these people are comparing notes because this is how they showed up in your life. So they literally could have been the dead weight in your life. I feel like these people were that heaviness that you were carrying for so long. But what's so interesting, I feel like what your guides want to point out is that you agreed to that, collective. The contract that you were living by, the sole contract that you were abiding by up until this point, revealed a lot to you about your interpersonal relationships. So you will definitely know, if this is your reading, if there have been drastic changes around the way that you relate to the people around you. These people were weighing you down. So they are all watching you in awe at this time. Some have a close-up view of you. Some have physical access to you. I'm getting some people are far away. This may be a little bit more energetic. But they cannot stop watching you and studying you because they're realizing that you are exactly who you said you were. Okay? Time has vindicated you beautifully. The people who are watching and studying you right now, collective, are the very same people who doubted you. They cannot believe that you made it through that chapter of your life, that you actually got to the point of completing this contract. But if you're resonating with this message, I'm getting that the bulk of your lessons, your soul lessons, up until this point have been connected to the people that you love the most or the people that you are the closest with. But there was a higher purpose for that. Anytime I feel that heavy Saturn influence, you're being sharpened, okay? You are being taught something that's going to lead you down a path to mastery. So even though whatever this is that you had to go through was heavy, it was absolutely necessary. Yeah, but these people who are watching you, they definitely played a very, very interesting part or interesting role, okay? I keep getting that energy. You signed up to play a specific role, okay? Maybe you got the short end of the stick. It just feels like you went through something that altered you physically. But the way that your energy is coming through, you don't look like what you've been through, okay? Now that this contract has expired, the way that you are presenting has a lot of people shocked. I'm even getting that in the recent past, maybe you went to go see someone, maybe you crossed paths with someone, and they could not believe that it was you, okay? And you could attribute this to a lot of things. Maybe it's the way you eat. You know, maybe you have a very clean diet. Maybe you drink a lot of water. Maybe you get a lot of rest. But the way that this energy is coming through, you should not look this good, okay? You should not look this vibrant, this youthful. There is a heavy spiritual element to this, collective. And I feel like your guides really want to point this out because you may think that this is normal, but clearly it's not, because you have people talking, discussing you, comparing notes, okay? There is so much going on in your energy field right now. And it's because whatever was weighing you down, person, place, or thing, that season of your life is over. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is 1010. Yeah, you are definitely headed towards a completely different timeline, okay? So if you notice that you are seeing this number synchronicity, I feel like your guides are going to be sending you this number to let you know that you are facing in the right direction. But this number also comes with a warning because when we see 1010, we automatically think good energy, positive energy, brand new starts, leaving something in the past. But I think that people severely underestimate how hard it is to actually move in a new direction, to actually face in a direction of the unknown and trust in your spiritual team to guide you. So, this is absolutely a fresh start. And the fact that this is coming out while we are smack in the middle of this eclipse season is very, very auspicious. Okay. The eclipse season just brings that extra pressure and also the energy of Saturn coming through. Okay. So you may be under immense pressure right now, but your guides do not want you to fold. Okay. You are headed towards something that is completely different. And whatever it is that you're walking towards at this time, collective, it just feels so much lighter. It also feels like everyone who is around you may feel as if they can't come with you. This is why you're being studied. They want to know what's your next move because they got a front row seat to your life. They've seen who you've become because, in spite of everything that you were carrying, it did not break you. You continue to move forward, you continue to be disciplined. And I don't know what this is pointing to specifically, but this is very, very heavy energy. Anytime I tap into someone who has a very youthful spirit, a very youthful appearance, despite your age, you look very beautiful, you look very vibrant. People may naturally assume that you are much younger. I know that I'm talking to someone who has a beautiful soul because the outer appearance reflects what's on the inside of you. That is completely spiritual. If you wake up one day and you notice that you have a sparkle in your eye, you feel more beautiful, there's something more radiant about you, or you literally age backwards, that is a vindication from God. That is you getting your time back in a way that cannot be given to you in this physical realm. That is spiritual. So it's almost this energy of you getting a clean slate. So even though this eclipse season may be a little bit difficult for you, it may feel like you're under pressure. Everyone on the planet is going through this at the same time. And whatever it is that leaves, specifically with this lunar eclipse that's approaching, definitely pay attention to that energy because it'll definitely be something that is internal. Okay? And I feel like it's this role that you were committed to playing. For some of you, you may be over identified with your position in specific dynamics. And after this eclipse season, that is going to be over. So yes, this 1010 energy is beautiful. It is new energy. It is a new beginning. But please do not underestimate what it's actually going to take for you to walk in this direction. Because new beginnings are always disguised as endings. It may feel like everything is falling apart. It may feel like your relationships are strained or different or changing, but you won't have anything to worry about, okay? I feel like this definitely works out for you in the end because you have a lot of spiritual protection around you and you have completely stepped out of whatever this heavy role is. It feels like a cycle, especially with this 10 energy. You could be closing out a 10-year cycle, okay? Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have here is solar plexus chakra. I feel like this is the energy center where you're going to feel the most shift. And I find it so interesting that this card here is coming out. The solar plexus chakra is a masculine dominant energy center, okay? This is tapping into your personal power, your pride, your strength, okay? The gut is literally the second brain. So I feel like this is the energy center that your spiritual team really, really wants you to strengthen at this time. You could look into saying affirmations around healing or just sending love to your solar plexus. You could do meditations around this energy center. There's something here that is extremely important about trusting your gut, okay? This is a time in your life where your physical reality is not going to be able to validate you. As you can see, the people that are on this timeline have now made you the subject of their study. You are standing out. You are the standout energy. You have been vindicated. I don't know what it is that you were up against, but it feels like you chose a different path. And everything about you is highlighting that to the people around you, okay? So this is a time in your life to get very, very firm in your ego, in your healthy ego. You know, boost yourself up. If it's something that you want to do, begin to speak over your life. Begin to affirm in the direction that you're stepping into instead of looking back in this direction that you're leaving from, okay? Because that part of you is over. Whatever you agreed to in your life to learn the lessons that you had to learn, whatever relationships that you had to be in order to become the person that you are, that contract is expired. And just the way your energy is coming through, it's almost like you came out of this timeline completely unscathed. This is why people are studying you, okay? So even if you look around you and things may look the same, dynamics may look the same, you are the object of study. It's almost like you have graduated from student to teacher. So if you feel a little bit unbalanced right now, definitely heal or tap into your solar plexus. The difference is going to be night and day, because this is the energy center that is really connected to your internal guidance system. It's your gut feeling. This is not only where you digest food, okay? This is where you digest life, information, everything that you're going to need. So this is a big deal, okay? I feel like you have overcome something that a lot of people don't get through, okay? You are a soul who was surrounded by a lot of energy vampires. You should not be presenting the way that you present. You should not be showing up as beautiful or as handsome as you are showing up at this time in your life. You should not have the energy. You should not have the creativity, okay? People are watching you and studying you because time has proven that you are exactly who you always said that you were from day one. Even if your life did not look like it, even if there were these lessons attached to these people, places, and things that you had to navigate. You have successfully completed a cycle, okay? For some of you, this is a 10-year cycle that you are stepping out of. So it may take you some time for you to stop identifying or over-identifying with these roles that you played in the past. But I feel like with this eclipse energy, especially after this lunar eclipse, you're going to have a lot more clarity about how you want to move forward in this next chapter. But definitely tap into your solar plexus. Trust me, that is going to change your life, especially if you are a feminine energy. That is going to create so much balance on your journey and help you navigate, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon just to pull 3 more cards to see if there's anything else that you need to know moving forward on your journey. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.